Om Shree Swaminarayan Namo Namaha. So this is a brief talk in English. So there are countless number of thoughts coming from the inner space. Just as there is external space, there is internal space. Within that internal space, an innumerable number of thoughts come about like a fountain. The stabilization of the thoughts allows for the silencing of the mind. The silencing of the mind allows for a vision that is not coming from or coming through the layer of disturbances of the antakarana. And in that stability, even more spiritual practice, sadhana, can be done. Or one can remain in that stability and keep attention on the breath. By keeping attention on the breath and attention between the eyebrows, one transcends or one crosses the emergence of the dream state. The dream state no longer then interferes in the spiritual aspirant entering into a state of yoga nidra. So the dropping of consciousness from between the eyebrows to the throat is prevented this way. This kind of a heightened energy integration is possible when there is adequate sadhana performed, and sadhana leads to grace. Grace is krupa. That krupa allows for the internal integration to occur. With such integration, activity is performed without the hyper-focused ego's role. Hence, maladaptive defenses, other kinds of internal contradictory mechanisms stop. As a result of such stoppage, energy conservation and revitalization occurs. Through the revitalization, there is the ability to perceive with lucidity. The lucid perception is a state of inner freedom. The state of inner freedom leads to outer freedom. The state of inner and outer freedom lead to or exist, and within such freedom there is no disturbance or distress inside or outside. So when there is this type of high-level integration, then desire itself is transformed. Desire does not have its potency anymore. And desire begins to take a different turn. And the turning of the desire upwards into the spiritual realm, away from the downward samsara, is itself a great achievement. To keep it turned towards the spiritual realm is even a greater achievement. But better than the word achievement, it is a realization of the need to keep desire turned towards higher realization. And in doing so, the limitations of the senses and of the experiences produced by the senses is very clear. Such limitation does not allow the upward turning. It keeps one bound inside the vortex of memories. The vortex of memories is a world within which the consciousness lives. The consciousness is not the memories, but the consciousness does not know what it is. It identifies with the vortex of memories. Such identification has gone on from time immemorial. The Jivatma doesn't know anything different. De-identification begins by recognizing the silence that exists, and specifically the silence that exists when thought is not. Although thought is so subtle and it comes up time to time, different images come up. A stage develops when the normal, typical thought is not active, but a different activity occurs. And in that different activity, there is awakening into a dimension that the eyes have never seen, the ears have never heard. It is an inner dimension. The awakening and opening of the inner dimension is the first step into the journey into the Atma, into the God state. The greater the inward opening, the less the need to rely on the outside world for finding happiness, comfort, stability. The inward world, the inner world, becomes more real than the projected outside world.